Good evening, folks. I was just inside my home and I just kept having this thought. What does the collective need to know? And I was like, I've always just gone on a whim, really, of what's coming up for me. I know this channel has taken on a life of its own, and just because of my own consciousness, and like I've said previous times, my energy work will be mostly with people that are physically present in this space. It's felt more like it's like trying to raise conscious awareness of questions. I felt that go brighter then. Did it go brighter, or was it just me? Yeah, raising conscious awareness. Challenging the status quo of what we perceive to be spirituality, or our connection to source, our connection to even Christ consciousness. I don't know, what does the collective, how can I, this is my question to Spirit, what can I speak on that will harness where they're at, but also acknowledge my own light, not diminishing it, and provide a safe space for growth and contemplation. What do we need to know? Just calling on my ascension team in spirit, those that have been with me throughout my whole journey thus far in physical incarnation, this incarnation, because I do believe I was in many previous ones. Sometimes it's just a pause in the silence. What do we need to know, Spirit? I'm not talking about the Holy Spirit. I'm talking about the aeons, the emanations from the aeons. Then that was just blue. I just saw blue in the, so it's speaking truth. Now I've had lapis lazulite. This was actually one of the first crystals that I bought as a wedding anniversary gift to myself and my husband in 2010. I was very aware that I felt there was so many things outside of my control of what was going on in our life, and we were heavily affected by the decisions of other family members, but we didn't allow it to control us. We used it as fuel to empower ourselves. And when I bought it, I was aware there was a black hole in it, like a black spot. And it kind of puzzled me why I chose it, because of this supposed flaw in it. I'll just show you, and I think I've shown it before, but can you see it there? It's like the void. It's like the piercing of your heart. And there was probably things that even were beyond my conscious level at that time about what goes on and how people are the way they are, and, you know, hidden truths. You know, well, all I can say is that spirit will protect you from seeing certain things, even if they are truths, because they're not. It wouldn't be, you know, beneficial or for your highest and best good at that time. Grab yourself a drink. So we're going to go through purification. The fire's burning down there. This is the same colour as fire, really, isn't it? Sort of the embers, golden embers. I just feel like it's cries of the soul. I'm going to look into this, cries of the soul. Hopefully you see that and it's not backwards. I think it might be backwards, is it? Is that backwards? Or is that forwards to you? I don't know, I'll have to play it back and see if it's... I might need to change the camera settings. Right, what does the collective need to know? What would be beneficial for all of us at this time? What would resonate for the collective? What would be helpful for their path and my path, and to bring that unity of spirit and connection? What are the cries of the soul? What are the cries of the collective 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 soul? What are the cries of their heart? What's the deep hidden recess? What do they need to know at this time? What would be beneficial? What would be beneficial? I'm going to do it one more time, Spirit, and nothing comes out, nothing comes out. And then we'll move on to something else. Protective shells. I kindly and gently listen to myself. The head. I gently but decisively welcome change. Did I say when I came in it was actually 5:55? So something about change, and that almost gives me a cougar look. Like, what else? Dark passenger. I create a sympathetic inner dialogue. Fear of judgment and criticism. You could have that in the background. I say sod them. If they weren't there for you in your darkest hour, I mean, really. Does there, you know, should you really care? Transgenerational karma. I am inspired by my family's history. I had a dream about karma of others, and I did start off, didn't I, about others, and their influence on your life, and you used it to empower yourself. Certainties. My thoughts open me up to inner and outer change. Change again. My thoughts open me to inner and outer change. So your thoughts, be mindful of your thoughts at the moment. Oh, because energy sponge. I align my internal and external balance. So there's a balance of the internal and the external balance. I'm aware of that myself. because I can tend to be in my head, and it's not always a bad thing, and don't trust all your thoughts, but you're part of the collective consciousness, so you can, you can take on, you can hear the unspoken word, you can hear thoughts of others, and I think that's the fear. You can hear the judgments and criticisms of others, which, because it's you hear it, and it's almost a fear within you as if it's you, but it's actually not, because you know that's not you, because you come from a pure hearted space, a soul, but it's still the fear of having to deal with it, right? It's an annoyance, it's like an irritation, it's like something. It's like, oh, just heal already, would you? You know what I mean? Imposter syndrome. And I think that's the fear of judgment, isn't it? Like, you're at an elevated state of consciousness. Thank you, Spirit. Elevated state of consciousness that it's actually really hard to be in your truth of who you are and who you stand to be, whilst being observed by people that only have observed you from a limited perspective of who you thought you were back then, but you've evolved. I acknowledge my past accomplishments and believe in my future successes. Yeah, so you're starting to believe. There's a third eye. There's a well, you can say Rose. There's been lots of tears in this process. There's a dog here, so there's loyalty, but also the third eye and the tears of having to be kind of guarded about your new, I mean, there's actually a few, there's actually a few with the eye on it, the third eye. So you're awakening that third eye, right? So there's the third eye again, look, on the hand. And the hand always reminds me of Fatima. But the golden sun, right? You've got the sun, you've got partnership, balance. Of course, there'll be always from past lives. When I said about past lives, you may have been, maybe the challenges of you being releasing your karma from past lives by the way you've been treated in this life, which seems completely unjust for your present life. So it may have been that there's been a balancing out. And I'm not saying that we should accept, oh, and then there's family loyalty. But I am myself. Abandonment. Unbalanced ego. See, this is when the karma, self-evasion, I accept myself as I am. And repetitive patterns. I mean, which one shall I look at here? We've got protective shells. Dark passenger. It's that inner dialogue. I mean, I know for me, sometimes it's that frustration of processing the inner dialogue and processing it so that you're at peace, but you're coming from an enlightened space of the process of alchemy, really. Transforming that which is negative into something positive, I create a sympathetic inner dialogue. As soon as you hear my cold, monotonous, and this is obviously this is like the inner talk, right? As soon as you hear my cold, monotonous, and negative voice, all your senses are on alert. So you can get into stress just through your thoughts. And I know this for me sometimes, like, if you can overanalyze, but you can be troubled by some thoughts. And like I said, it's not always yours, right? But it's still present in your energy field. So you're kind of like being, and of transmutation there, because I burped. You're observing the thoughts and not trying to give energy to it. You're just release. Because energy, you can't destroy energy. It can only be transformed. So you transform it. but it's still a process, and it's something that you've learned to harness and accept about you, that you are an alchemist. Whether you realize it or not, the fact that you're watching this, you are an alchemist. This is how you transmute, you transform. You transform your past life karma, your personal karma, into a positive thing, because you don't want to be dragged down by that. You're seeking a higher elevated place of joy and fulfillment. But you know, with the light, you know, there is often there's the opposite side where you're balancing that out through the darkness that you're experiencing. Okay, I activate your sympathetic nervous system. Oh, mine's heavily activated by what I've experienced. And you find yourself filled with dread. They're talking about complex PTSD here, because I've had it immensely, because it's still a process. You know, you're like I said, you're experiencing the bitterness, the karma, even of a past life from others, whatever that is, the thoughts. And it's got to work through your body, because like I said, it's like energy, and you're like to transmute it and transform it into something positive. I will just say this: I had someone that I know locally, and he said to me, he said, Caroline, how did he put it? He said, "You're the most positive person I know." And I was like, because the thing is, when you're in the darkness, you often isolate when you're processing this heavy energy. Like this is really your gift to the world, really. Like you're being used by divine to kind of be a bit of a filtration system, to purify the negativity, the karmic ancestral. I mean, we've got transgenerational karma here. So transgenerational, even of my own husband's family and my family, and you know, you don't know what you've picked up through your genetics, right? Like, and I had this thought today, actually it plopped through my mind about what did I think Spirit about? Because I've been doing this all day. And that's why it can be exhausting. But you know, I don't get paid for this work, right? But Spirit rewards me in other ways, you know? And I think we've got to get away from like, oh, well, the only way to get paid is by if you're physically doing something, you know, in the physical realm for a boss or something, right? That, you know, then you'll get rewarded. No, the universe knows how, you know, through your ancestral line, how to benefit you too, or just through the seeds that you've sown, through the, you know, through your good karma, through the good that you've done in this life. Well, you know what what does Jesus say again? You know, you will reap what you sow, right? So you will reap the good. And if you're like acting like a filtration system in the spiritual realm, that is a that is a higher calling, and it's often not acknowledged or is completely overlooked, because most people don't even acknowledge that they've got a spiritual body, right? So, you know, you know, I went on a tangent there, but we're already at 19 minutes. It's like, holy crap, Spirit, I love you. It's definitely personally related, but also, you know, the fact that I asked for the collective, there's you, whoever's going to be watching it, it's for you. I constantly remind you of your failures and make you, so this is your negative self or ego, whatever, like, you know. So it constantly reminding you of your failures and make you think you are alone in the world, which physically I am, except I've got my son, and can only depend on yourself. Well, there is that. Sometimes it does feel like that. I am the voice of your dark side, your suffering, which envelops you in dismal and painful energy. Yeah, and you're transmuting that. I don't believe in beautiful surprises, happiness, or love. See, that's the polarity, right? Because really, your what is it hard to say? Your pure childlike self does absolutely believe in beautiful surprises, happiness, and love to come your way. But like everything, when polarity exists, you must have the balance. So you will experience the opposite of that, I think. It's almost like you'll go into those depths of the opposite of that just prior to that change where it goes whoop, and you thought you weren't going to have love for the rest of your life. Well, I just tell you something else, right? And then spirit comes in, and then you have this peak thing, because it's like it's a peak experience of love, because you've been in the darkness, you've sat with the feeling of a loneliness, or feeling like you're, you know, it's just you and spirit team, but the sheer, you know, I had a feeling inside again. It's like, man, the thought of not being loved for the rest of my, you know, in that physical sense, for the rest of my existence in this realm, in this earthly, you know, in this vessel of mine, you know, it can bring up fears. It can be like, oh, and it's just a thought. Sometimes it's just like, oh, well, that's interesting. But I know that there's going to be the flip side, right? There is always a flip side. So don't be scared. What I'm saying is, don't be scared of the dark, because you will get the ecstasy of the light when it comes into being. I'm with you because you grew into who you are today. Yep. Your daily life was filled with great fear, immense anger, and considerable trauma. Oh, well, yes. When you were younger, you considered serenity, love, and happiness as distant pipe dreams. You grew up flat on the ground, yet I know you did everything you could to get back up. Oh, yeah. I get knocked down, but I get up again. And it's tiring. You know, you've been through hell and back, really, you know, with all these different karmic connections and people that challenge your worth, and, you know, challenging who the fuck do you think you are type thing, that are just so negative. Like, you know, I've been around people that think they were so positive, and yet I'm like, yeah, but all you're doing is projecting negativity to me. So how on earth is that bloody positive? And I used to go, well, if that's what positivity is, I don't want it. And I think that's why I got that message from that friend that said, oh, you're the most positive person. Yeah, because I've been in the dark. I've not allowed that negativity to consume me, and I've transformed it so that when I'm out in the world, I'm buoyant, you know, not projecting all the shit onto someone else. You know, that's heal thyself, right? Boo. Bing. I protect you from what you don't know. And when you let yourself be led by me, you stay focused only on yourself and never confront your fears. See, isn't it funny how the message was, go and ask the question to spirit, what does the collective need to know? Did I not? So we can be absorbed because we're going within. You can become a bit self-absorbed. I mean, because it's challenging, and you know you're putting the mirror on yourself, but you're questioning all these thoughts that are racing through your head and who they're from, and trying to decode it, and yeah, it's a whole art form. But then when you go beyond that, you go into the void of silence. So I don't know. It's like you've got to attain a certain level of mastery to know how to not let it affect you. And things have definitely affected me in the past, or even now at times. And I go, oh man. But it's just, you've just got to, just breathe, be observer of it, and just don't let it control you, and just be present, and just let the dark wave roll through, transmute it, do what you got to do a healing, do a cleansing each day, and let it go. See, even my thoughts are racing. Bloop. So this is the negative part of you. I halt every action aimed at change. So it can hold you back from actually taking the steps you need to take. So it's just being mindful, isn't it? It's just being mindful. Warning, you can force me into silence. I am with you because your system of distrust is breaking down, which is good. So, and you're experiencing events. And when I said that, it cut off. So we're back to here. I am with you because your system of distrust is breaking down, and you're experiencing events that invite you to trust, love, and share in positive ways. So you're invited out there after transmuting, being in the darkness, sitting with this side of you that is actually a transmutation device. And you're then being invited to go out and share in positive ways how you overcame it, right? So it's like your testimony, isn't it? I appear to activate your armor. So this part of you that, is filled with great fear, immense anger, and considerable trauma. I appear to activate your armor and urge you to be wary of all positive things. So you do get a bit, I think because you've had so much trauma, you become a bit, is this for real? Like you're offering me love? Like for real? Like it's not some secret intention, what's your intention? What are you after? You know what I mean? Like if you've been in trauma and your sympathetic nervous system, it's like your ego kicks in as protection. It's like, are you for real? Like, what, you just gonna love me? What, for me? You're not just after something. You know what I'm saying? I appear to activate your armor and urge you to be wary of all positive things, turning off the music and lights and telling everyone to go home. You know where the door is. But you can open yourself up to others, yourself, and life. See, some that could be watching this from a past could go, yeah, Caroline, you were the one that... No. I was just putting up a wall because you were negatively impacting my sympathetic nervous system, and so I gave you the wall. Don't go switching it on me. No, that wall was definitely for you. I withdrew because you stimulated it to the point where it was going, warning, 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 evacuate the building, evacuate the building. This person has got is spiritually not aware as you, and they're going to flip the script on you, a destiny swap. Oh dear. You can be who you are with passion. There you go, there's my passion. Be aware of all this. Don't let me snuff out the beautiful light that is emanating from you. Oh yeah, don't even let yourself snuff out your light. Don't let anybody snuff out your life. Least of all yourself. Well, this is probably why the light went brighter at the start of the previous video, which I'll try and merge it together. I am not the voice of truth. I am aware of the suffering I have caused you and the struggle I created within you. You may find that cognitive behavioural therapy, there you go, CBT, techniques are an excellent tool to enable you to listen to me differently, as they can help transform your shrieks of despair into barely audible whispers. When I speak to you, write a letter to yourself detailing the exact opposite of what I tell you. For example, if I tell you you're a loser, write that you are an incredible person. I am the voice of your past pains, not of your destiny. Your destiny is something you build day by day. Yeah, and even the negativity thoughts of others, like, it's probably not by chance that I said about the warning and put the wall up, right? You know, some people just, they can't help themselves but you know, judge and criticize, or, and you know when it's a spiritual warfare, because it doesn't actually make sense to who you are, and you're going, I know you're putting me in depression because that is very negative. And I know I'm going to have to retreat to process this. I just don't do that to people. I mean, I know when my husband died, I just was very aware my tolerance level was non-existent. I could not tolerate stupid, petty, small talk, nonsense, or projections, or bullshit, or people that didn't have my highest and best of good. They just got the wall. They got the wall. And it's the best thing, because you don't want to be protecting your pain especially when you're grieving, have a loss of a loved one. And the circumstance, even processing the betrayal of my husband, was massive. It's a massive undertaking. But this is an example of the spiritual truths that you're uncovering. So if people, yeah, I've had a fucking reason to be depressed in the past. I needed deep rest. Deep rest. Deep rest. So fuck off. Let me be. Let me transmute it. Turn your shit into a crystal. Stop presenting me with a polished turd. It's still a fucking turd. Even if you shine it, it's still a turd. Even the harmonics are resonating with that. Oh, Caroline, you crack yourself up. Anyway, right. What's the yeah, we've already read that, so that's fine. So that was I create sympathetic inner dialogue, right? So your sympathetic nervous system gets triggered, activated by stimuli, usually outside of you, people's projections, pain, whatever. You then internalize it, basically to transform the energy, and then you turn it into something that's not going to have a negative impact. It's going to have a positive impact, and it's going to have a positive impact for those when you go out into the world, because you have transformed it, and you've healthily transformed that energy into something of good use, instead of it being destructive, and setting an explosion of terrible karmic consequences. Can you hear what I'm saying? I think you can. Whew, I'm so pleased, because that's big. Whew. Yeah, beauty. Right, 24, here we go. We're looking up transgenerational karma, because clearly it came up about people's projections. And usually it's family. What does they say? A man's foes are that of his own household, or a man's woes. Foes and woes. Foe, foe, farewell. I was just thinking of, I used to watch as a kid, The Sound of Music. So long, farewell, au revoir, whatever it was. I flit, I float, I flit till feet I fly. This is what you say to that energy. I hope you like my theatrics. I am an energy passed down through the generations. And I can be a burden or a true source of inspiration. So we transformed it into a true source of information because we don't want it to be a burden. It's been a burden. That's why we're transforming it. And I'm seeing a bird that looks like something that's flying off I see shapes in my, it's a Claire something or other. I see shapes in my wall, and it's only timber where you see at the back there. But I see images within the sort of like the timber grain marks. And it's quite interesting. And they just appear to me randomly. And that one, it almost looks like a bear, flying bear, but it's not. It's like a bird, but it's almost got a bare nose with a little ear here. It's like, anyway, right, distracted. I'm influenced by the free will of each family member. And I influence you. I can bring you specific aptitudes, but I can also create blocks. Yeah, so this whole, it's not for the faint of heart, my dears. Your free will and the way you embrace me within your actions has an impact on my energy and strength. Oh, fucking hell. Excuse my French, but this is it. I may take up a lot of room in your energy, so you feel you're constantly repeating the failures of your ancestors, following the same path even though it doesn't suit you. You don't want that, but it's like, get out your head. To a point it is, but it's almost like these thoughts that, the negativity of others, the people's negative projections and misrepresentation of who you really are, and they're like little thoughts that just like little drips of poison and they're just subtle ones, but I don't even know that they know they're doing it half the time. It's just like, fuck off, done. And then so it's trying to transform that and let it be. But yeah, anyway, let's see what it's got to say. Although my energy can be difficult, I'm a source of reassurance, bringing you in a comfort. I was going to say conflict. Bringing you in with comfort. I can make you reproduce what your ancestors did and experienced, which creates security. That's interesting, because I did a talk, and I talked about my granddad and what he did, and likened it to some path, my path. Anyway, won't go into detail, but it was quite cool. When you don't have the resources to assert yourself, my presence is a positive thing. When you don't have the resources to assert yourself, my presence is a positive thing. Or you may spend all your energy trying to release me. However, the energy you devote to my annihilation is time you don't devote to yourself. So you can't get rid of it. That's what I'm saying about energy. You can't, and I've said this. This is obviously the message. You can't you can't get rid of energy. It continuously flows. So you got to breathe through it. You've got to allow it, and you got to see it for what it is. Acknowledge it. Go, yeah, no, I see you, mate. Like, I see the negativity. I see the bullshit. I see the overthinking. I see it. I see the ancestral pattern. I see the family pattern. I see how I can be like you, dad or mum or whatever, brothers, sisters, aunt, uncle, whatever. But I'm not going to be in that energy because I'm not choosing that. You don't think about yourself or your faults. Hang on. However, the energy you devote to my annihilation is time you don't devote to yourself. You don't think about yourself or your faults, responsibilities, projects, and desires. So, I am an excuse and you use me to escape. So you can't escape. You're not meant to escape this process. Is the way I'm seeing this. And you're not meant to annihilate it. The thing is with growth is you're supposed to bring conscious awareness to it. And no matter how painful it is, you need to go, oh yeah, no, that's, when it's come from a source, go, yep, I acknowledge the fact that that's totally from you. And and instantly I'm putting up my filters and going, yep, I'll catch that, but only to transmute it because I'm not taking that on. In the past, you probably absorbed that, particularly when you're very young, because you're not a psychologist. And you take it as part of you, and now you're going, no, fuck that shit, that wasn't me. That was totally your projection of me and trying to keep my light dim. No, fuck off, that's not me, right? So, okay, so the warning here is the more you devote yourself to me, the more I'll take up room. See me and act accordingly to balance my presence. So yeah, you see it, but then act accordingly to what you want, your desires, right, to be, how you want to be, how you're looked at from the outside, like that friend giving me the compliment. I mean, I said to him, that is probably the rarest compliment, but that I've had in years from an external source. And I thanked him greatly. It took me aback, and I just thought, oh, it's so nice when another soul can actually recognise your worth and give you a compliment. Hallelujah! Wow! Thank you for seeing me. Oh, I thought it was never going to come. Your family history is a source of important lessons. It's exciting to understand the story of your ancestors. Well, it is. It's really fascinating. Because my granddad had a horse and cart back in the day. It should be funny that I should end up milking cows and, years ago, and then learning how to inseminate them, isn't it? I feel like I think he was living through me from the other side. I do. Yeah, my dad, couldn't seem to get over him, the negative side, but then his granddad was gassed in the war, and they said he was never the same after that. It's almost like each generation kind of deals with this process in their own way, and there's no judgment here. It's just, it is what it is. And I think each generation you're given different light codes in your body to overcome the next stage. And I'm noticing it with my children. It's almost like they've, because you've done a certain level of healing, that they're not having to, the work that you've done and you've attained for your lineage, they don't have to do that work, and it won't be as intense. I mean, they'll still have work to do, but they'll go on. And it is like passing the baton on, and that's how I see it. It's like Grandad passed my granddad. I remember him, having me in the steel cattle yards, and he had walking stick in one hand and my hand in his other, and I was only like 4 or something, but it's just like an imprinted memory, and I, in the situation, I'm like, I don't know who would have been protecting who in that situation in the cattle yards, but anyway, like, it was funny how I ended up doing quite a bit with stock, in cattle yards initially. So anyway, that's just a side note. Your family history is a source of important lessons. It's exciting to understand the story of your ancestors. However, it's important not to make the people who came before you carry the weight of your free will. Before you carry the weight of your free will. They did the best they could. Yeah. So we have to be mindful not to blame them and shame them, you know, because of where they're at. You know, actually, I've got a friend in my hypnotherapy who, hopefully he's watching actually. Love to you, mate. He knows what I'm talking about. I know it will resonate for you. I hope you're watching it. Whether you're subscribed, I have no idea, but maybe you could send me a private text, right? Just a little message for you there. Interestingly enough, his name is the same first name as my one of my uncles, whom I love too. So there's definitely a family thing. Like, you know, there's a it's a cool name, an old what you class as probably an older name, you know, but still love it. With a modern dude, he's a real dude. I won't say his name because, you know, maybe I could, but they did the best they could with what they had. So don't burden them with the responsibility of your failures or successes. So yeah, we've got to be mindful. Just move on. Just do what you're going to do. You have got free will and you do get to choose. And sometimes it is away from family dramas and what they perceive as being, you know, the right path for you or not, or whether it's you're no longer as active in their life path. Yeah, so yeah, this is a bit of both here. See their life paths as food for thought to better understand and question things about yourself and for exploring who you really are. Focus on yourself before taking an interest in your family history. Take an interest in yourself. That's the most important thing, because often you'll see, you know, so you're looking at yourself first. You're acknowledging yourself and your attitudes and thoughts and all the rest of it. And then you often reflect and go, well, actually, I think that came from that family line. But I know it did, you know, on certain things, but not always. Your passions, convictions, priorities, and the things you love. First, be the main character in your own life story. You are a main character in your own life. Da, 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 that's obviously come from when I was watching that as a kid. Puppy power. So you are the main character. And then you can start taking an interest in your ancestors' lives and thank them for all the lessons they provided you with. You're experimenting today, but one day you'll be the ancestor of a new generation. What was I just talking about? Like my own children. You're going to be passing on the baton, so make sure it's a bloody good baton, right? That knows how to wield that faith and transmute and that wand of strength and courage and bravery and facing the inner darkness. I think that's why I like putting it on YouTube too. It's like, well, my kids have always got a documentation that maybe one day in however many years' time they might watch it and go, oh man, I resonate with Mum now. Oh, she's so cool, man. Why couldn't they see it then? And at the moment it's like, oh Mum. You're experimenting today, but one day you'll be the ancestor of a new generation. What beauty do you want to fix in yourself and in the energies of the people who will come after you? Yeah. What legacy do you want to pass on? I mean, even my husband, between us, like even with him passed on the last 5 years, everything about my security and what I've been doing for me and the children have been very much with what our original goal was. And so it was almost like a contract really to to continue our legacy that we encompass together as divine masculine, divine feminine, even though there was some, you know, negative traits in there. But you know, there was so much more positive, like so much more. Like in a general whole, as a husband and wife team, I think we bloody rocked. Like, I think it was bloody marvelous. And though there was definitely things that where my sympathetic nervous system was off the charts, and my husband's energy field was a lot to behold sometimes, and harness, and kind of to hold on to. It was kind of like he kind of got into a sort of a runaway ghost train with his energy, and it was like, fuck, how are we gonna stop? There's no brakes to this thing. Just clicking on for the ride. But you know, it's all part of the journey, isn't it? It's like, yeah. Oh, it's releasing. It's like, see, I've got almost no mind again. It's like, oh, I love it. We might be getting close to the end, because it's like, you'll see a difference from me at the start of the video to just going through that whole process of the energy working through me. Now it's like, oh, peace reigns. Peace reigns. Peace reigns. So yeah, fear of judgment and criticism. I look upon myself benevolently and tolerantly. And you know, and even me, after with grief, knowing that my tolerance levels was just so small, and I was like to spirit, keep people the fuck away from me, because I'm gonna bite their head off. I'll be like, ah! That was me. Ah! I'll eat you alive. Don't you come at me. I am seriously traumatized and grieving. Keep the fuck away. Warning, alert, alert, Caroline's grieving. Keep away. Interestingly, it was about the time too when you know, when COVID and everyone was locked away, so it was like, oh. It was like the whole universe went into sympathy. Because holy shit, that first year, oh, you're just literally sitting in this, it's like you can't even think, you can't even talk, you're just numb, you're just like, you're being hit by a train, literally, or the train has crashed at this point, and you're just oh dear. Right. Okay, we're going to talk about this 31. Let's get to 31. Oh, I went straight to it. That was obviously meant to be. Okay, 31. Straight to it. I gently but decisively welcome change. I don't care about your needs, dreams, or discontent. So this is the negative part of you, right? Like the hurt part of you, the cries of your soul, right? This is you speaking. I don't care about your needs, and you know, it doesn't mean that you don't care about your needs. It's just this is the inner dialogue. Okay. I don't care about your needs, dreams, or discontent. All I want in life is for nothing to change, because we do get. It's comfortable. It's comfortable. Don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Don't tip the boat over. Don't rock the boat, baby. Oh, Caroline comes, tip the boat over. Ah, dear. I am often accompanied by limiting beliefs, and they are a great help in keeping renewal at bay. I am often accompanied by limiting beliefs, and they are a great help in keeping renewal at bay. So yeah, we do hold on to limiting beliefs. So challenge them. Just pick one belief and challenge it. Not because you want to necessarily change it, just challenge it. Just challenge it, because through the challenge, you're going to know whether that belief is actually something you want to hold on to, right? You know, unless you pose all the questions to that belief, how are you going to know that there's something different to change? Just saying something else in the wall. I come from your dark side. It's interesting because it almost looks like, I'm going to say it looks like the dark part of your consciousness, let's put it that way. I come from your dark side and hate uncertainty, which is why I reject progress. When you allow yourself to be led by me, you endlessly repeat the same thought patterns and ways of doing things. You can get bored with that, can't you? You want to shake things up sometimes. It's like, you get out your own way. You censor yourself and lock yourself away in a cozy bubble where time stops. Oh well, I do that too sometimes. But it's like a process. It's like it had to happen, you know. It's like going into hermit mode, you know. You can't, you know, some of these deep things, going into the darkness, going into your pain, going into the wounds, like, it's a process, it's time, and you got to honour that. But then it's a time for, right, we're going to come out of that now, and we're not going to allow that to hold us back, and then we're going to go into the opposite of what we've just experienced, hopefully. I am here to protect you because by freezing things, I create a comfort zone in which you feel very safe. Comfort zone. What do they say about the comfort zone? It is the thief of joy, or is this the enemy of progress? You can't innovate or experiment with me at your side, and you often call on me when the outside world frightens you or you run out of resources. Yeah. When you make room for me, I immobilize everything around you. I am often criticized by, I know you very well that many people look for me. I am often criticized, but I know very well that many people look for me and are ready to do many things in order to keep me at their side. I need to read that again. Not quite sinking in. I am often criticized, so this part of you is often, that's trying to protect you, is often criticized, but I know very well that many people look for me, so you look for that part of you that feels like it's protecting you, and are ready to do many things in order to keep me at their side. Yeah, so you can hold on. It's like, oh no, it's like having a little blanket or a teddy bear, you know. It's like, oh no, you just stay with me. Don't feel safe. Don't feel safe. Warning, we are destined to evolve side by side. So you're not rejecting it. You're just bringing it in, going, yeah, I acknowledge the fact that that's a big dark world out there and it's a bit scary. And I don't like it. It's starting to sound a bit like Only Fools and Horses. Fella. We are destined to evolve side by side, but you don't have to be led by me. When you feel my presence, question what frightens you. When you feel my presence, question what frightens you. And ask yourself why you need your comfort zone. It's not going in. Why is it not going in? I think because my mind, I went karma, right? Karma, not karma, but karma. When you feel my presence, question what frightens you and ask yourself why you need your comfort zone. Then ask yourself whether you still have inner resources at your disposal or whether they're all run out. You're allowed to take a break or stay in repeating patterns if that's all you can do right now. Just listen to me graciously and without seeing change as the ultimate threat. You might need someone to give you bolstering up. I know that's the cries of my heart sometimes. I'm like, I actually do think I'm ready for love, if I'm honest. You know, that love of a significant other, but that's not karmically in debt, right? Like in a negative way. One that's karmically liberating. You know, the positive side of karma, because karma's neither good nor bad. It's both. Like you have both polarities of karma. You're allowed to take a break or stay in repeating pattern if that's all you can do right now. Just listen to me graciously and without seeing change as the ultimate threat. So it is all about change here, folks. 555, change. I understand why I am present to such an extent. List everything you do repetitively, your daily habits. You know, I've got some habits that I want to break, but I'm still making progress. Cleaned the shower today, so. Thought habits and consumption habits. Ask yourself why you routinely do them even though they're not good for you. Think about different habits you can implement to create fresh inner and outer movement. You don't have to force yourself to do things you can't do. Go at your own pace, paying attention to the way you think and talk. The more you say, this is how it always is, which is quite a negative thing because it's like, this is how it already is. Well, that's boring, isn't it? Can't you just flip the script a bit? The more you'll close yourself off. So set yourself challenges to help you exit your comfort zone. Yeah, I think that is cool. And I think do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do this for 15 minutes. Say it's like your drawers or something. There's a set of drawers and they're like it's like the dump center of little knick-knacky bits and bobs, pens, paper clips, whatever. All of the above. And just decide, right, I'm just going to attack that today. Just going to do that. I've got similar things in my house. In fact, some things it's like, oh, I don't necessarily need to hold on to these things anymore, some things, and then just go through a pile of, you know, put them into categories of definitely move on and give away. Some will be definitely get rid of, burn or dump, whatever. And the other things is definitely keep, love them, can be useful. There may be a bit of a pile that's the bit unsure but not really willing to get rid of, that you could put into a box or something that you label after 12 months and say, I'll review them in 12 months, you know, and if I still don't resonate with them, they're gone. All right. Ooh, the dark night of the soul. I asked for help when I need it. Anyway, right. What can we end on? Because that was pretty cool. Pretty cute. Pretty relevant to me. Hopefully relevant to you. I don't know where these languages are coming from, I'm sure. I've got this herbology astrology. Let's have a little bit herbal essence. Let's see. Okay. Robin Sana, trust. There's the dolphins. You might want to listen to dolphin frequencies, the harmonics. It's making me think of mermaid, your ancestors. Oh, there's a lot of imagery in here. Definitely ancestors. The heart weeping, but on a time clock. It's like the karmic wheel, but it's like like drips, tears of your ancestors. What else do I see? The sun, the earth. This woman holding it in her heart, in the palms of her hands. The hummingbird just flying away from the nectar, the sweet nectar. Hibiscus. Oh, we got the hummingbird again. There is the hummingbird, look. Speaking truth. The third eye is aglow and you're speaking this newfound wisdom. But that was the one previously. Look at the hummingbird. You see the whale at the top? I was just thinking about frequency music. And look at what's over the heart there. Or the opposite side, sorry, there. It's like a time, it's like a watch. Like a time watch, but it's like it's crying. It's like water releasing from her. The emotions. You see the hummingbird here. The DNA strands, the ancestor here. Right, any more? Any more for any more? Any more? Any more? Reishi. Retreat. Oh, that's quite a few. Is that it? It did flip though, so. Reishi, retreat. Hibiscus is joy. Nurture, lemon balm. So get yourself some lemon balm. I've actually got lemon balm in my garden, so I might go and do a herbal tea of lemon balm, particularly tomorrow. Sage, burning some sage, blessing. It's like talking to your ancestors, burning the sage. It's like what we're doing now, like community space under the moon. The moon's out there at the moment. We've got bee, queen bee here. Lemon balm, nurture. Yeah, lemon balm coming from her. And what else? Nettle. Oh, yes. Nettle's really good. It's got the snake here. But that would be like Kundalini. They've got mountains or like crystals in the background. Action. Nettle. So you can have nettle tea. Very good for you. My dad said, there's things from my dad, bless him. He would get arthritis in his knee and he used to thrash his knee with stinging nettle. Because he said it brings out urtication, I think is the word. It helps heal it. What's this one? Yarrow, harmony. Masculine and feminine energies. We've got the scales here, but we've also got, what sort of bird is that? It's like the wall. There, it's an extra long neck there, but the balance, you see? Whatever else you see in that. Give you a moment to look. And tobacco offering. I think the old medicinal tobacco, you know, has its place probably, but I've never been a smoker. And then we've got dandelion. Oh, we've got that looks like Sagittarius there. And then it looks like Metatron's thing here. Wounded healer. Yeah. Well, we've all, you know, even the healers need healing, right? And the healers are authentic, you know, because it's lived experience. It's not like, oh, you know, you got to be this perfect thing that never gets crook. I mean, how bloody stupid would that be? You know, we're always going to go through the flow of life and, you know, death and rebirth and purging and releasing and, I'm releasing. Right, I'm just going to read one of them. Let's have a look at this Bobinsana 8. Let's have a look at 8. 8. It's like the horse. She releases stress by going. Right, self-love, heart retrieval, ultimate state of receivership, gratitude, receptivity, compassion. In the Shipido tradition, Bobinsana is a highly respected master teacher that contains a plethora of medicinal benefits for the body, mind, and spirit. Native to the Amazon basin, many call the herb Serenita or mermaid. I talked about the mermaids. Did I not say about the mermaids? And there's mermaids, because I saw the whale. Did I not mention about the mermaids? What was I looking at when I saw that? Oh, because of that, you know, that symbol at the top that made me think of the. You see that one there? You know that. Can you see? I don't know whether you can see that properly or not. I'll probably think of it later, but it made. You know, the man in the sea. You know, with his staff. What's he called? Anyway, whatever. It's in The Little Mermaid anyway. Under the sea, under the sea. Beautiful paintings found in the Amazon among shamans depict her as a goddess, a deeply creative feminine spirit who has masterful healing abilities. Serenita de los Rios assists us in healing wounds of the heart, past relationships, grief, loss. What were we talking about tonight? Sadness, abuse, and melancholy. Babinsana is often prescribed by a curandero or healer to heal wounds from childhood, for soul retrieval, or to heal a stunted soul, susto, that left fragments of itself in a painful past. So you might be healing your granddad, or just heard movement there. Did you hear it? Whether used as a single plant during specific shamanic cleanses, dietas, for purification and spiritual awakening, or brewed as a tea, Babinsana assists in deeply amplifying heart energy to experience the transcendent power of love, empathy, compassion, oneness, and freedom from pain. Babinsana also grants the powers of expansive intuition and lucid dreaming. I've been getting lucid dreaming. Actually connected to my husband's family. And interestingly, I was talking to my husband's brother in the dream, and then pops up this little kid, his daughter pops up, and it's like we're connected in the spirit. Like, there's things that have gone on, but you're always connected. So we have to be mindful for the next generation, right, of what we're passing on. We need to just allow things to just take effect and give it over to divine, right? Because sometimes it's, you know, we don't always see everything of why things are the way they are, no matter how painful they've been in the past. We can't always know what their journey specifically is. We know how it's affected our journey, and it can be with great pain and suffering and feeling of being sacrificed, for example. But it's not the end of the story, is it? So anyway, many users, when ingesting Babinsana through dietas or alongside other ceremonial brews, experience time differently, as if the barriers between waking life and dreaming get washed away. It is said that these transcendent experiences of love beyond space and time are what allows for miraculous heart healing. It's said that these transcendent experiences of love beyond space and time are what allows for miraculous heart healing. God, Babinsana bright and pink flowers bathe the energy body with the softness of light, awakening the inner pathways to unconditional self-love. Babinsana reminds... I've never heard of this Babinsana stuff. I don't know how you get it. Babinsana reminds us that love is the highest state of receivership, reminding us not to forget the necessary power of self-love. Yeah, self-love is the most important thing too. I'm going to put these two together. It's going to be a long video. Babinsana assists us in rediscovering forgotten places within ourselves, retrieving fragments of our heart, seeking healing. Ask yourself, where in my heart's memory can I bring wholeness to? Babinsana medicine is like that of whales and hummingbirds. I saw the hummingbirds. I'm going to listen to a whale frequency. That's confirmation there. The joyous record keeping of the sacred that assists us in assessing the reservoirs of the cosmic heart. Sirenita is reminding you to pay close attention to the messages encoded in dreams, synchronicities, and symbols that surround you right now. Though through those doorways, you can further explore the great mystery of your heart's desire. And then there's joy here, and they've got the hummingbird again. I'd like to read more, but I think it's just gonna, you know. So there's Bobinsana, hibiscus, reishi, which looks like a magic mushroom to be fair. R-E-I-S-H-I, retreat. Yarrow, harmony, bringing, well, I have yarrow growing here, easy as. You can make that into a tea. Lemon balm, into a tea. Sage, blessing, so burning sage, offering it to your divine team as an offering of purging, of releasing. Nettle, you can put that as a tea, you can eat it, you can put it in a stew, it won't hurt you. And tobacco. So, anything else? No, because as I'm going to put these two together, like, look, send me a comment if you get to the end of this reading, please. Ooh, show me some love in the comments. Tell me some love. Tell me if it resonates. Just give me a like. Even if you don't want to comment, just give me a like. Give me a subscribe. Let's see how we can continue to heal on this journey called life. Love you, even in my animation. Bye for now. Bye.